What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another new plane reveal. I know, another one.
Another one.
Except this one is definitely not a new plane. It's a very, very old plane. One of our oldest planes ever. 1964 we're throwing it back to today. So without further ado, introducing the channel, our new Piper Cherokee 235. So there you have it, surprise! Finally, we have a Piper in the collection. And this isn't just any Piper Cherokee. This is the 235 horsepower variant, hence the Piper PA28-235. This is the big daddy of the little baby, right? This plane is usually just a boring trainer with 140, 160, 180 horsepower. But a few years in, Piper had the bright idea to drop in their big Lycoming O-540, making 235 horse in a tiny little plane.
Fun fact, because this engine makes so much power for the airframe, the Piper engineers decided to put it in at a slight angle to help overcome the left turning tendencies.
So as you'd expect, the useful load, the climb rate, the speed is all kicked up a big notch. So it's not just your typical Cherokee.
So obviously the exterior is in great shape, but take a look at this interior. I think it was redone pretty recently. The seats, the side panels, carpets, headliner, windows, they're all in great shape. So it's actually pretty tidy in here.
And this is actually a first. We've never had a plane in the collection that is powered by a Lycoming motor. Isn't that crazy? Every single one has been either Continental or, as of late, Pratt & Whitney. But check this out. Well, actually, not much to see. I'll open up the oil door. Yes, I know this plane needs a major detail. It's been parked out here for months. I will explain the whole situation, but you can see it in there, a nice shiny O-540. It's actually in really, really good shape. All compressions are in the 70s. This engine has a ton of life left. And the O-540s are known to go way past TBO. I mean, think about it. 540 cubic inches producing 235 horsepower. The Continental 550, that makes 300 horsepower. So 235 is very under stress. It's got low compression pistons on it, so it's not trying very hard to make the horsepower, hence why they go way past TBO, and sometimes you can get like 3,000 hours out of the engine. So this one still has time till TBO, but it'll probably go way past that with how it's looking right now. Alrighty, thank you. So if you saw the previous vlog, we were flying the Citation back to Arizona. We took a bunch of fans along with us. It was super cool giving random followers rides in the Citation, but we were passing right by LA and we remembered, wait, we've got the Cherokee 235 sitting in Chino, and guess what? The paperwork just got finished up at the FAA. We were waiting months and months and months for the registration to transfer into our name. That's why this plane has been under our ownership, but not ever on the YouTube channel before. We were gonna take this plane to Oshkosh. That's kind of why we bought it. We were like, you know what? Let's buy a plane that we can just take to Oshkosh, fly around, sell it for a profit maybe, but you know, use it for some flight training in the meantime. That was the goal. Until the paperwork got held up because, I don't know, somebody didn't sign their name right or something. So it got held up like 3 months, but finally it's done. It's registered in our name. We have insurance. Everything's good to go on it. The annual is just finished up. Basically, long story short, this plane was sitting for about a year out of annual. So we got a great deal on the plane because there was a lot of unknowns, right? It was out of annual, it was unairworthy, it couldn't be flown to a different airport without a ferry permit and a bunch of hassle. So luckily it was at Chino, and I have a buddy who has a shop here at Chino Aviation, and they went through the plane, they did a really good job on it. It was a little more expensive than I was budgeting for. It's partially because we needed a new muffler. That was unexpected, and guess what? Mufflers are not cheap. So that was like maybe 2,000 bucks installed, plus some other things. All in all, it wasn't that bad, especially now that we're used to like jet maintenance bills. These piston maintenance numbers are sounding a whole lot better, if that makes sense. So anyway, it's all ready to go now. We're about to hit the skies. We got Jay here. You have a lot of Cherokee time. That's why we recruited you for this mission. You've got a bunch of hours, but it's in the 180 variant.
Just another 55 horsepower.
Very simple plane, right? So no prop control.
Yeah.
It's just fixed pitch.
It's fixed pitch prop.
Right.
You have no retractable gear.
No gear.
I mean, it does have tip tanks.
Okay, yeah, that's about the only like extra thing you got to manage, right?
Yep.
Tip tanks. So a little bit of fuel management. Well, other than that, it's just like any other Cherokee, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's weird because at 235 horsepower in some airplanes, it's going to be a complex airplane. Where in this, again, you know, it's only high performance, no complex.
Right.
So Yeah, should be cool. I mean, it's an awesome airplane. We've been waiting for this one for a while.
Right, the useful load is staggering. I'm pretty sure I'll put it up on the screen. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,450 pounds. So even with full fuel, you'll be hard pressed to go over that number and be over gross.
The useful load is literally more than the airplane weighs itself.
Dang, that's crazy.
And just so you guys understand how insane this useful load is for a small 4-place aircraft, let me tell it to you a different way. Imagine taking full fuel, that's 84 gallons, 4 grown adults at 185 pounds apiece, and 200 pounds of baggage in the back, all while still being under max gross.
That's one of the biggest selling points of the Cherokee 235. I think these planes are criminally underrated. You hear nobody talking about them. Like this plane for the money, literally a Cherokee 180 nowadays goes for the same price that you can get a Cherokee 235 for. Why people aren't like chomping at the bit to buy these things, I don't know. Comment down below. Are they scared of 2 more cylinders at overhaul? Or I'm not sure, because this engine is so reliable, you can't really argue that it's a bad engine or anything. So I'm not sure why these things aren't going for way more money, but I figured put my money where my mouth is and go buy one. All right, there goes the fuel truck. Here we go. This is unscripted. We have not flown this plane before. It has not flown in, oh shoot. Uh-oh. Well, I think I jinxed it. Literally, as the words were leaving my mouth saying nothing is planned, nothing is scripted, this is the first time this plane has flown in years, I noticed the leak. Why? Why did that have to happen? We were about to hop in and take off, and now we have fuel just pissing out the right tank. Look at this, it's a pretty fast leak too. Boom, 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 boom. Right as I was saying, anything can happen. Anything did happen. Murphy's Law came into effect and screwed up our plans. This is really frustrating. Is what it is. Old planes are like this. It's a 50-year-old plane. Can't expect it to be perfect, but I was thinking we would just hop in, fly it home, and fly off into the beautiful sunset. But no, now we have to take the Citation home.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, that's unfortunate.
That did not go to plan. What did go to plan though is Owen waiting until we were airborne. He said, I am not taking off this jet until I know you guys are good to go. He knows this all too well, that first time flying an airplane in a long time, plans usually don't go to plan. So he said, I'm gonna wait until everything's good to go. Now we have a broken airplane, so we have to head back on the Citation. First world problems. Oh no, my new airplane doesn't work, so now I have to fly home on my private jet. Oh, that sounds terrible, I know, but I'm really happy we have a backup now, a very expensive backup. A little frustrating because to divert to Southern California here, definitely added some time on the plane and a lot of fuel burn, so it probably cost us like $600 to $800 to do this kind of, hello, I'm filming here. So it costs a lot of money to do this diversion to drop us off at the Cherokee here. It is what it is. I'm not sure if I'm gonna end the video here or follow it up with a second half of the reveal video where we actually fly it home, but all right, let's hit the skies, blast off in a much faster plane back to Scottsdale.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Let's do that. 4612.
Tango Lima radar contact 2 miles southwest of Chino, climb and maintain 7,000.
7,000, 2 Tango Lima.
Citation 2 Tango Lima, runway 22 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, 22 left, 2 Tango.
Beautiful.
Tango Lima, trim up when able, contact ground, have a great night.
Left over ground, good night, 2 Tango Lima.
Bam, That's how it's done.
Several months later.
Well guys, as you can tell by my hair, it's been about 2 months since we were last here at Chino Airport with the Cherokee 235. As promised earlier in this video, we would be back and we would be documenting the first flight on video. And it looks like that is about to happen here in just a few minutes. So we gave it to the shop to fix those couple issues. Number one, obviously we were leaking some fuel and that turned out to be a simple fix. And then remember we were having that radio issue where we couldn't hear each other. Nothing was working, the intercom. We thought we were doing something wrong, or like the audio panel, or well, we gave it to Arena Avionics. Yeah, big shout out to Gus at Chino Aviation and Raymond over at Arena Aviation. They did a great job working on this plane. And it turns out the problem over here was the audio panel. So I guess these things are so ancient that our old one just crapped out. Something broke on it. Luckily, they're very cheap. But get this, we actually had one laying around because the Cessna 210 that we bought, the yellow and brown one, with the avionics upgrade package that he did, he gave us all the old avionics, and that was one of the pieces that he gave us. So problem solved, they fixed that. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. 4 different fuel selection. This thing can carry a lot of fuel, 84 gallons. I don't love that. I kind of wish it was just left and right and it gravity fed from the tips into the mains, but it is what it is.
Let me go ahead and give you guys an overview of the next 3 days with this plane. I didn't really explain it very well in the video, but check this out. We start here in Chino. First stop is Reed Hill View to grab Owen, and then we gotta fly all the way up to Seattle where we are picking up a new plane, and then we gotta go to Montana for some business, and then we're going down to Salt Lake City to pick up a new car. And yes, the Cherokee is going to take us to every one of those places. Flying direct is 1,687 nautical miles, and obviously we weren't going fully direct all the time. So in total, this whole trip was over 2,000 statute miles in under 3 days. Quite the break-in for this new Piper Cherokee, but it held up great. That is until we stopped in Utah.
Chino ground, Cherokee 8694 Whiskey, holding short Juliet. We're going to be northeast departure with hotel.
Cherokee 8694 Whiskey Chino ground, runway 26 right, taxi via Juliet Alpha, cross runway 21.
26 right via Juliet Alpha, cross 21, 94 Whiskey. Cool, clear on the right, clear on the left, clear forward. Now we're going to take Juliet down to Alpha. Cool, so it's 2:44 p.m. We started on the left main.
And once again, just my luck, my GoPro failed to capture the audio on these next few clips. Luckily, it works just fine in the later clips in cruise, but basically I was just giving my first impressions here that, oh my gosh, we're in the sky, it's working, everything is going well, instruments are in the green, we're climbing at 1,500 feet per minute, oh my goodness, it's doing well. Yeah, basically just the first impressions. But anyway, we navigated around some terrain just north of Chino, and then we were on our way to 6,500 feet, where we will pick it up here in just a second and talk all about fuel burn, fuel planning, and more first impressions. Let's go.
Okay guys, update. We obviously made up to 6,500 feet. Sun is setting behind some clouds. Plane's flying great.
It's awesome. It's really, really awesome airplane. Yep.
It is just doing really, really well. So I update the vlog right now because we're watching the fuel situation. Obviously we have plenty of fuel, but these tip tanks mean you have 4 different settings. Left tip, left main, right main, right tip. So the left tip we're trying to get as low as possible. We're just getting ready to swap it because we kind of want to drain that one as low as possible so that we can do some fuel burn calculations, because right now we have no idea how much we're burning.
We're trying to figure out, because right now it's 4:29 p.m. So that means we've been on the left tip for 1 hour and 1 minute.
It's a 17-gallon tip.
Yeah.
And right now my guesstimate, based on the engine settings we're running, my math is showing we should be burning like 13 gallons an hour. And it's a 17-gallon tank. And we've been running it for 1 hour. So therefore we should have at least 15 to 20 minutes, but it's showing it's nearly empty. If it starts to sputter and we got to swap it, like, then that's a little concerning, because that means it's burning closer to 16, 17 gallons an hour, which is way more than I'm anticipating. So we need to know this, because we're about to continue on to like Washington and Montana, and I gotta know like what this thing's burning in cruise.
Like Jeffrey said, I mean, it's going to help us with our fuel planning and flight planning for the next legs of the this trip. This is a longer trip.
And just understanding the gauges. We noticed from 17 to 5, it went really quick. And then from 5 to 0, it's going so slow.
Now it's been 1 hour and 6 minutes. So roughly 9 minutes.
Okay guys, I ran the numbers again, and we're very surprised there hasn't even been an inkling of like sputtering yet, but we're ready to quickly shift the tanks. It should be any minute now, because as of right now, with how long it's gone, it's indicating
12.2 gallons per hour.
Yeah, we're at like 12.2, which I was figuring 13. So I mean, this is good news. Our fuel burn's lower than I thought. Now the gauge, sure enough, reads like under 0. We would have just swapped the second it got to like a couple gallons indicated, but now we know that couple gallons is really like 5, 6, 7, 8 gallons. We're just trying to keep it as level as possible so that we're not like sloshing fuel away from the pickup. Super smooth air, so this is a good test.
So it's been, an hour and 24 minutes on the 17-gallon tank.
If it hits an hour and 30 minutes, that means we're at a fuel burn of 11.4, which is really low for this engine.
Isn't that like the lowest? Like they were like...
Yeah, on the forums they said as low as about 11.5. I don't know, we might be burning 11, I guess. We'll see.
Or we have the most fuel efficient Cherokee 235 ever.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Oh, fuel pressure. Look at the fuel pressure.
Oh, yep. Okay, just make sure it goes back up. Yep, and there it goes back up.
Cool, so now at 452.
Write that down.
Okay,
452.
So...
Boom. Wow, we got it on video. Holy crap, good eye.
Yeah.
Dang, that started to drop quick. I didn't even feel it. No roughness.
No.
94 Whiskey, contact local center 128.7.
28.7, good evening, 94 Whiskey. Center, good evening, Cherokee 8694 Whiskey, 6,500.
Good center for Whiskey, open center, the fast road, low altimeter, 2994.
994, 94 Whiskey.
Yeah, it was an hour 24 minutes.
Hour 24 minutes.
So now I have to do the math. An hour and 24 minutes is 1.4 hours. So we just do 17 divided by 1.4. 12.15 gallons per hour.
Which makes sense because we said 12.2.
Spot on. Yeah, we were thinking 12. Science experiment done.
Yeah. Nice.
12 gallons per hour at 65%. True, probably like 128. We're trying to figure because we have like a 7-knot headwind. Ground speed of 121, so not the most fuel efficient thing, but I mean it's got gear hanging down and it can carry a stupid amount of weight. So there's trade-offs. And it's carbureted. It's not fuel injected with gammies where you can go crazy lean a peak. With 84 gallons, 12 gallons an hour. That's almost 7 hours of flying.
Yeah.
So with reserves, you can get a solid like 6 hours. That's a lot of flying. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
780 nautical miles. I wish I had an engine, a crazy JPI 930. That would make life really easy.
That would be.
Gosh, no CHT, no EGT, nothing.
I know, you're going crazy right now.
It's a mixture and just that sense of like it's slowing down, watching the RPM, and feeling a little roughness, and then just enriching a little bit, get that power back, and being at an altitude where there's no red box. We're at 62% power, so no harm in any mixture setting. So we're not risking anything. If we were at 3,000 feet and I'm trying to lean it in just right, I'd be a little nervous.
Yeah.
If you're at peak, you're quickly doing damage to your engine. So okay, well I guess we'll catch them in the descent.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
we're about 45 minutes out. We'll catch you on our descent into Reed Hill View, where we'll meet up with Owen and spend the night in the Bay Area.
Oh, you guys have no idea what's coming tomorrow for the vlog.
The adventure continues tomorrow early morning.
You thought this plane pickup was crazy. Wait till you see what's in store tomorrow.
Yes.
Another Piper. Just a very, very
different than a Cherokee.
Crazy Piper.
Day 2.
Welcome to very cold and wet Washington. We just spent the last 11 hours in our new Piper Cherokee 235 to fly up here from Los Angeles to pick up our new Piper. And guess what? It's a huge step up from a Piper Cherokee 235. You read that title and thumbnail correctly, we just bought a Piper.
Day 3.
Oh yeah. Alrighty guys, just like that, now we're hopping back in the Cherokee 235, blasting off to Salt Lake City, where we are picking up our electric super truck. It is a freezing cold morning here in Kalispell, Montana. It's like 19 degrees right now. We had to store the plane inside or else it would not start if it was sitting out there on the ramp. Look at that view. Are you kidding me? Montana is the most beautiful state. Whitefish, big mountain up there. Okay, update on the new Cherokee 235. So we just landed in beautiful Utah, but all things are not beautiful. We have an issue with the 235. Something's leaking pretty good. Oh, shoot.
All right, guys, Christian here. This plane is awesome. Not quite the moment that you've all been waiting for, but the moment that I've been waiting for is to see if our new Varla electric scooters can fit in the baggage compartment. This plane does not have the largest baggage compartment of our planes, and yet they still fit. So of course you came here for aviation content, but let me tell you how these things overlap. These things are nuts. They have a huge battery, dual motors, 2,000 watt motors, 20 amp hour battery, 40 miles at 40 miles per hour. Imagine you're flying your plane to the airport. We're always having to figure out, crew car, can somebody pick me up from the airport? What restaurants are within walking distance across the street? To have your scooter, this is awesome.
Somehow, some way, this scooter fits in here. And again, like Rich said, this is the smallest baggage compartment out of any four-place plane that we have. Talk about the jet. Oh my gosh, we're able to just chuck 2 of these in the back of the jet, go land somewhere, and then scooter around town because of the range and the speed it has. It is such a sweet setup. Look at that. Easily fold up and down so you can fit them in these tight spots, and then watch this, and you're ready to ride.
Dual suspension.
And guys, they're not paying us to do this portion of the video. They just said, hey, let us send you out a couple scooters, put them through the paces, try them out, see how you like them. And if you like them, mention them in a video. And well, after 6 months, we absolutely love them. These things have not skipped a beat, even after 500 miles of use. I cannot believe it. The Varla scooter keeping up on this crazy off-road trail. This thing is a trooper. Check it out, straight out of the box. Crazy off-roading, hanging in there.
Dual suspension, dual motors, puncture-proof tires.
How much charge do we still have? We haven't charged a single time. We still have a half charge. Anyway, you guys got to check them out. Be sure to hit our special link down below, varlascooter.com/JRAviation, and use code JR60 for $60 off one Varla scooter. Hit that link down below, support those who support us. So please do yourself a favor, ditch the dangerous hoverboards and one wheels that you're probably going to fall off of. Get something a little quicker, safer, and more fun by checking out Varla today.